I like kind of almost cried. What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. Today for me was pretty good. I'm alive, so I can't complain. Before we get into this video or talk about anything related to this video, a couple of you guys were asking me about this shirt right here I'm wearing. Here it is. Can you see it? Alright, hopefully you can see it. Basically, that's a cartoon on Netflix called Hilda. It's an amazing show. Go check it out. It's it's very interesting. If you like trolls and, dragons and giants and things, go check it out. It's so interesting. I love it. And if you are interested in a shirt and, you've seen Hilda and you want a t-shirt like mine, go check down in the link below. There should be a link to this t-shirt, and you can pick up the same exact t-shirt I'm wearing or any other Hilda t-shirt you might be looking for. But let's get into the video today. So recently I was out in public. I know, that's crazy. Why would I ever do that? Why would I put myself in a position where I have to talk to strangers? Well, for one thing, I was out in public because I was getting food at Panera Bread, so I had to. I couldn't help it. I just had to. But yeah, I was out in public, and some guy came up to me. I was wearing a t-shirt. Some guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, what's on your t-shirt?" And I awkwardly was like, "It's something. It's a design." And I was very awkward around the guy. Normally, I'm not like that all the time. I'm pretty good with people normally, but sometimes I just really, really mess up when I'm talking to someone I don't know. And in that case, I was in a line for my food, and I wasn't expecting to talk to anyone. So when he came up to ask me about my shirt, I was kind of, taken back for a second there. I kind of almost cried. I didn't almost cry per se, I guess, but Anyway, point is, I was not ready to talk to someone that I didn't know that day. I just wanted to kind of be in my bubble and not be interfered in my bubble. But that brings us to the video today. So today, we're actually watching a video by a channel that I enjoy a lot. The channel is called Theodd1sout. Now, if you've never heard of them, they're a cartoon channel, and they deal mainly with, stories or events or kind of like explanations. One of my favorite videos is the, what is it called? The bees and the spiders. That one's very interesting, gives a lot of good detailed facts. The video today we're going to be watching is actually something they dropped, I guess technically it's midnight right now, so yesterday, but it's called Talking to Strangers. I'm not sure what that means in this terms of this video, but I'm sure it's got something to do with awkwardness and not knowing what to say, because I've run into that situation. I'm sure all of you guys have run into that situation, and I'm sure talking to strangers is not something that you want to do every day. I often don't do it, and I try not to do it as well. But this video hopefully is going to be really good, and let's dive into it and see how good it is. All right, let's get started.
Let's pretend you get on a bus and it's super crowded. The only spot that's open is between two strangers. So you sit down between two people you never met and everyone is fine. Everyone's keeping to themselves, no one's making eye contact, it's perfect.
Well, I guess
sure, your shoulders are touching, but that's just what happens. That's part of the bus going experience, you poor person. But then at the very next stop, aisle seat guy gets off. So now you and window seat guy are sitting right next to each other. But since you're in the middle, you have to be the one to decide, do you move or not? I honestly don't know what the right thing to do in that situation is. I'm conflicted. Because if you move, it would be silently telling the other person, hey, you're disgusting. I can't stand having our shoulders touch any longer, and I'm glad to finally get away from you. Ugh. But on the other hand, if I was the window seat guy, I would want the middle seat guy to become the new aisle seat guy. I wouldn't see moving as rude. I would just want his gross, disgusting body as far away from me as possible. That's not rude. Good. But on the other hand, maybe I'm overthinking everything, and most people don't even mind being this close to another human, and they aren't struggling socially, I don't know. Now imagine that same situation, but with urinals. If you're in the middle urinal, do you move halfway through to the other urinal? Because I would. Are you supposed to talk to people when you're sitting 2 inches away from them? I always felt like I should say something, like, hey, did you see the game last night? I didn't. I was too busy drawing cartoons. But I realized that this is a two-way street. I'm worried about not talking to someone, are amazing. But they're not talking to me either. We both agreed that there's this unwritten contract between us that we're not even going to look at each other. It got me thinking about strangers and specifically how I treat them. And how I can make money off of them. Hey-oh! I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. For most of my life, I would go out of my way to avoid talking to people. I would stay in my lane, mind my own business, no eye contact. If everyone's using a urinal, I'd have to pee tomorrow. Yes, I'm lonely, but now that YouTube's the thing, I'm interacting with strangers more often than I've had to in my entire life. So I've been thinking a lot about strangers. And first of all, I think the word stranger is already an insulting label for someone just because you don't know their name. Oh, I don't know this person? They're a stranger. They're strange. I'm the normal one. They're the freaks. They probably murder people with an axe. That's always the go-to profession of a stranger, an axe murderer. But the...
All right, so far in the video, we got into him stopping on a bus, talking about, what do you do with the seat beside you, at urinals, and then he's gotten into a little bit more about, like, why he's going to be talking about strangers. I've always had the same exact thought, kind of like, why do we say strangers? Like, kind of the root word is strange, and, like, I get understanding maybe in the sense of the word is more like it's strange to us because it's foreign, but we had to dive into the video, see if he gets into that. But yeah, so everything he's talked about so far, I've experienced, with on the bus or at a urinal or, just in a public place. I've always had a situation where I'm in between two people. So very interesting so far, so good. I love this animation, and let's keep going.
But the people you see throughout your day are all humans with their own hopes and dreams, and some of them may hope to kill you, but you'll never know because you didn't ever take the time to get to know them. So I think that the people you see throughout your daily life aren't strangers. They're potential friends. Except for the weird ones, obviously. Stay away from them. And yes, I'm telling you to judge people based on their appearance. They're the ones that chose to wear anime shirts in public, okay? So back to the bus scenario. I'm sitting right next to this fellow human being. So far, there's not a single reason why I should dislike this person, but I don't know why, if you put him and me on a bus next to each other, I want him as far away from me as possible. Just stop touching my shoulder! So that was the last time I took the bus.
Please.
Unfortunately, that's not the only place you meet strangers. One time I was at Home Depot and I was looking for jumper cables and I couldn't find them anywhere. And I don't know if I'm the only human that's like this, but I will try everything in my power to not talk to a sales associate. I guess it's because I know they get paid minimum wage and their life sucks, and I just want to leave them alone and not make their job any harder than it has to be. But asking employees for help isn't even bothering them that much. In fact, I think it's part of their job. Like, what's the worst thing they're gonna say?
I hate talking to an employee. It's terrible.
One specific item is? Everyone else knows. Did you even look? They're in the jumper cable aisle.
You can't say that. I used to work at Lowe's, and you can't do that.
No one's gonna think that. So feeling desperate, I mustered up what little courage I had and swaggered up to someone wearing an orange vest and said, excuse me, do you know where the jumper cables are? I don't work here. Oh, you don't work here? And then he walked away. And then he waddled away, waddle. And then the very next day, bam. So I think...
All right, so yeah, it's pretty funny so far. He talked about Home Depot and how he went in. So I actually used to work at Lowe's, and I was someone that wore the red vest at Lowe's, and people would come up to me, ask me questions. But we also had contractors come in that would not work at Lowe's, but they would have a similar uniform to a Lowe's employee. And I remember one time I was at Lowe's, and I was just kind of standing off in the garden section alone because, I was avoiding people. And the contractor came in and was looking for some bricks, and he was kind of looking around, inspecting, crawling up inside there. I didn't care, I was paid like $8 an hour or something. Like, it's not great payment. Well, maybe 10. Okay, so a little better. But this contractor was all up in the bricks looking around. I remember watching a customer one time walk up to them and be like, hey, where's this? And the guy looked and he was like, I don't work here. But he pointed to me. He was like, but he works there. Then they came up to me and asked me where the bricks were. And I was like, I have no idea. So yeah, I basically sucked at working at Lowe's. And he's got a point with what he's talking about. It's just kind of awkward to go up to a sales associate. So I definitely agree with that. And let's keep going.
I think the logical thing to do in that situation would have been to find someone who does work there.
Yep.
But I left the store because I didn't want to run into that same guy again. But I also bought a hammer because I didn't want people to think that I stole something. So...
You didn't need a hammer.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, if you wear an orange vest to Home Depot, just expect people to ask you for help. Same goes for people who wear red shirts at Target. You'd think I'd learn from my mistakes, but no, I have a bunch more examples. When my book came out, my publisher said that it was going to be carried at Barnes & Noble, and I thought that was super duper cool and wanted to see my book in the wild. Not to buy or anything, just to have a look at. So I took my friend Adam from Something Else YT, and we went to the local Barnes & Noble and started our search. We looked in the humor section, didn't find it. Then we checked the new release section. It wasn't there either.
Oh,
then we
poor
looked
guy.
at the best-selling section, then the religious section, but we couldn't find the book anywhere. So either the publisher
It's in the religious
lied
section.
or they had already sold out. But just to be sure, I asked one of the workers, hey, do you guys have a book by Theodd1sout? He kind of looks like this. And the worker typed something out on his computer and said, oh yeah, we got those in the back. We just haven't put them out yet. So then he went to the back room, brought out a copy and handed it to me saying, here you go, kid. And I thought, well, I can't just hand it back to the guy and say, oh no, that's okay.
I
didn't want to buy it. I just wanted to have a look at it. Do you know how inconvenient that would be? So the only less awkward option I could think of was to buy my own book.
Fair.
And you know what?
Give
I'd
himself
get a couple
money.
cents back from this purchase, so it wouldn't have been a total loss.
Not
but
a total
Adam, being
loss.
the more sensible one, said,
Dude, this is ridiculous. You have to come clean.
so then he went to the worker and said,
So he actually wrote this book. He just wanted to get a look at it, like, in the wild.
and the worker said, oh, that's so cool. Do you want to sign our copies? And then I thought, well, hold on. You're not even going to
Start
ask me
signing
for my
copies.
ID? How do you
Here
know
we
I
go.
actually wrote this book and I'm not some guy trying to deface someone
Shel
else's?
Silverstein.
And then the guy gave me a whole stack of my books and I signed them all. Last story
Nice.
before I go. I was in the hallway of a building and me and this potential friend crossed paths. He said, hello, and I was going to respond with, hello, and
Ugh,
how's
I
it going?
hate
But I
running into
combined the
people
two
and
and
having
ended up
small
saying,
talk. It just
"How?"
doesn't work for me sometimes.
And then I jumped out a window and fell to my death. I can't rationalize that behavior.
All right, so I just want to point out one section that he was talking about. Seeing someone in a hall saying hi or hello or whatever. Oh, I hate that. I always do that, and it's always awkward. I always say something weird. Like, they're like, hello. I'm like, what's up, bro? Like, morning. And they're like, wait, it's like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, well, I tried. Anyway, let's keep going.
That behavior. Maybe I spend too much time on the computer and I'm not used to looking at real people's faces, but I'm trying to
That's fair.
change. Don't get me wrong, going to conventions and meeting fans has helped me a lot with talking to people. Granted, those conversations are usually one-sided and a real stranger won't already know who I am, but they've still helped me. Now, you might be expecting me to give you advice on overcoming social anxiety, but if you watch this video, you know I'm not the most qualified to give that advice, but I'll try my best. I know it's hard to feel confident, and I'm still working on it, but you have to understand that we're all people,
Very
and we
true.
all have
I'm a
things that we're
person.
struggling with. And in reality,
Kind of.
we're not all watching or caring about every little thing that other people do.
Yeah, that's
we're
true.
all too busy worrying about what other people think of us. So with enough practice and believing in yourself, you can show the world your true colors, and I think you'll find that
Spits up
people are a
rainbow.
lot nicer than you think. So if you're the middle seat guy on the bus and you have to decide whether or not to move, do whatever you want. No one cares. Just stop touching my shoulders. Hey everyone, I know it's been a while. Thank you for being patient with this video. May has been a really busy month because some of you might know that May is my birthday
Oh,
month
happy birthday.
and I don't
Happy
work on my
birthday.
birthday month, so if there's a lesson you should take away from this video is don't worry about being awkward
There
because
you go.
everyone
That's very
is
true.
weird. And if anyone makes you feel bad for being awkward, then not only is that person more weird than you, but they're also an a-hole. I have some events coming up very soon. I have VidCon and chess boxing. And then I'm also going on tour with a bunch of people that you might recognize, like Jaden and Ross and Dominic.
Oh, nice. You're going on
Ego
tour.
Raptor.
Go check that out.
Just,
It's gonna be fun, I
Name
think,
drop a
probably,
couple people.
hopefully.
So if any of these events look interesting, you can buy some tickets in the
I'm
description
gonna leave
or
this up
through the
because
event tab on
I wanna
my
help 'em out.
website.
I love
And
this
if you're
channel.
yearning for more Odd Ones Out
We're gonna
content,
talk about
I just
this
wanted to remind you
right
all
after
that I
we
have a
wrap up.
second
Okay, so that video was kind of cool, kind of funny, kind of gave you a good lesson, I guess, at the end. I guess that's what the word I'm looking for. I don't know. But yeah, he did make a really good point. No one really cares about you, honestly. Like, in everything, in the grand scope of things, people have their own issues going on. They're worried about themselves, what they're doing, or, what they're going to eat next kind of thing. So yeah, honestly, no one really cares, like, whether you do something or not. I mean, obviously they care if you, like, work or not in school or do schoolwork, but, do we really need school? Yeah, probably. We definitely need school. Anyway, this video was really cool. I think this was a really interesting topic to talk about because I do see a lot of people, a lot of younger people concerned about what people think about them. And honestly, in the end, no one cares. Like, it took me a while to get to that. I remember in middle and early high school, actually all through high school, I cared more about what other people thought than I cared about what I thought about myself. And so I think if you're going through that as well, make sure you turn around and look at yourself and realize that people don't care The most important person in your life is yourself. So make yourself happy and not other people. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm sorry if I confused you. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click that subscribe button and that notification bell. And yeah, I can't wait until I do the next reaction video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.